Hello guys, welcome to my channel.
Hello guys, welcome again. In this video, we are going to learn about the new concept and a very good concept is called exception handling in Java. So just creating a class first of all, and then we will deal with the exception handling, then how exception handling work in Java. Java is very good in exception handling. So here we are taking example like example, and I'm creating here the class. And first of all, we should understand what is exception. Then we will also make the program. So what is exception first of all? So exception is the abnormal condition. Exception is the abnormal condition in program that stop the normal flow of execution of the program. So exception is the abnormal condition in a program that stop the normal flow of execution of the program. Means when we are running a program and due to some error, due to some exception, the program is not running well, that is called the exception. There are types of exceptions in Java. That is runtime exception, checked exception, and unchecked exception. Checked exception is called compile time error, compile time errors, or syntax error. It's called checked exception. Unchecked exception is called runtime errors or runtime exceptions. It's called unchecked exceptions. Check exceptions we can check during the coding time when we compile our program. Then compiler tell the where you have the error. It's called check exception. But this is unchecked exception, means compiler does not able to identify the problem in a program, but when you run your program, then you have the situation where your program doesn't run. So that is the abnormal condition in a program that stop the normal flow of execution. This is called the exception. Now if you see the image, in this image you see the root class of the exception is throwable. Under the throwable we have two subclasses, error and exception. So this exception is the root class of exception handling in Java that we deal. So as a programmer, we should remember the exception is the root class. This error class is the compiler related problems, and that is also physical problem in your system. Maybe your system out of storage, so doesn't have a memory, then out of memory error, some have a input output, keyboard problem, mouse problem. So these comes under the OS failure or JVM problem. So it doesn't require the error in programming. We only deal with the exception part, that is green one. So the exception having the IO exception, SQL exception, these are subclasses. Runtime exception is also the classes. Runtime exceptions comes when we run our program. Under the runtime exception we have a null pointer exception, but under the IO exception we have file not found exception, class not found exception. So though so many things are available, and there are so many classes, thousands of classes are there to handle with the exception. But this is the overview of the exception handling class diagrams. So After this, let's create a program. Here if I run a program in which I create the num1 equal to 34 and I div also for division purpose, and in div if I divide the num1 with 0, you see if I divide with 0 and I run this program and I print also, and here I just put the division equal to and I say div. So you see, because the divide by 0 is not possible, if I run this program, you see the error. You see the arithmetic exception is here and line number 15. So this is the line number 15. We have an error. It's not possible to divide a number with 0. So after the exception, this part of the program doesn't execute. So that is the problem. But if I handle the exception and I put this code under try catch, then this line will display if I want. Means my program would not crash if I handle the exception. If I do not handle the exception, so this program will crash like this. It's crash here. So what I should do, I do the try statement here, and under this try statement I put the here catch statement, try and catch. The exception name is arithmetic, so I put here arithmetic exception. So this is the exception handling, and this division I put here. It print the division only when it possible to divide, otherwise here I put the exception. What is the exception? I put AE. So AE is the object of the arithmetic exception. It will display that there is an exception here, and outside this I can also print that program is end. We say program is end. So like this, if I run it, you see again there is an error, but this time is automatically print that there is an arithmetic exception here, and the program is end is also running. Means only this part of program is not run, that is come under the try, because on that line, on this line error occur, and after that the execution is goes to the catch statement, and this exception display java.len.arithmetic exception divide by 0, it display. If I don't want to show this class name, I can also write my exception whatever I want. I say divide by 0 like this. If I run, so I can display my custom error also. You see divide by 0 like this. Or if I want to display detail statement, then I can also display like this, get print stack. It will display the detailed information about the error which is coming. You see it will display the detailed information about actually this come outside the this package here. You see it displaying you. Okay, it is syntax error. You have to print the print stack trace ae dot print stack trace. Sorry, we have to put here the print stack trace like this, and it will display the detailed information about your error. You see this error is coming in line number 16. It displaying line number 16 having error. For detailed information, it can be displayed by print stack trace. Otherwise, we can use only the simple method that AE object here, and it will automatically display the error which is there in your program like this, and we have a finally close also if I want that because if the error is coming here, then this part will execute. But I want every time if error occur or not, my this part should be executed. So here what we have to do, we have to use the finally block, and here if I print something, you see I say I am in finally block and I run it. You see that this line will execute each and every time whether the exception occur or not. I am in final block because error is coming, but if I say the divide by 10, now that means no error. Now it will display division is 3, and again I am in finally block. So this finally block execute each and every time whether the exception occur or not. If exception occur, then this part of catch statement also execute. If exception does not occur, then this part doesn't compile, does not execute, only the finally part execute. So finally block execute each and every time whether the exception occur or not. But remember that with try, at least we need one catch or one final. If I remove it, I can remove this also, like this I remove it. It will also run like this. It is run perfectly. It doesn't require catch. If I put here 0 also, so now error will come. Now error will come. Definitely error will come. You see error is coming. But I am in final block is executing. This part will execute. But this is not the normal flow because we have not used the catch block. So we have to use here catch block with the try if we want to handle the exception. So you see now the exception will be handled by the catch block and finally will display the value which is available in final block. So if there is an error, then both the block will execute. If there is no error, only finally will execute. So this way we can handle the try catch and final blocks also in Java. And this is the part of exception handling in Java, basic fundamental of exception handling. That's all in this video.